War Eagle War Report family, I'm your host, C-Dub, and tonight the fellas join me as we discuss spring football. Yes, spring football is back, and we'll talk about some of the news that's come out of Auburn football this week. We'll also discuss Auburn's Pro Day, as well as pick some teams that's going to win this upcoming weekend in the NCAA tournament. So you definitely want to hang around for that. But for now, sit back, get your weight up, because tonight we enter the war room.
You are now listening to the War Report. Wednesday night War Room. Brought to you by AuburnSport.com. Ike Jones. B. Will. C. Doe. Mike G. Let's go!
War Eagle, everyone. War Eagle. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I'm joined by Mike G, B. Will, and Ike Jones. You are watching the Wednesday Night War Room, brought to you by our show sponsor, AuburnSports.com. Be sure to head over there for your latest in recruiting and all news regarding Auburn athletics. Shout out to JG Tate and those guys over there for keeping us up to date. Now, shout out to our War Report family. Those of you who are watching live, do us a favor, guys. If you're watching and you're on social media, share this video. Use hashtag Get Your Weight Up. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, help people to find our content. Help us expand our community. Speaking of community, you need to become a patron. Mike G has all the details for you, Mike.
Hey, listen, become a patron. You can find the way to do this on our YouTube page. Hit that join button, select patron, become a part of one of the best communities that Auburn sports has anywhere. So our patron members are some of the greatest people I know, and we love to grow that community this offseason. This also helps keep our content viable. We are working full-time hours here, but we're part-time content creators. So you can help us be full-time content creators working full-time hours by becoming a patron. $5.99 a month will do it. We appreciate everybody who supports us by doing this. We're partnering with the Lee County Humane Society to raise money for a good cause. They're trying to save all the puppies, and we're trying to help them do that. So go to our About section and click on the donate link. 50% on every dollar donated goes to them to help them in their mission to hashtag save all the puppies. We want to put some good back in the world. So help us help them do that. We love those guys over at LCHS, and we want to help them in their mission to save animals and ultimately enrich other people's lives. Guys, we are giving away a t-shirt. This is our weekly giveaway, our weekly live stream giveaway. It's brought to you by GWT2 Energy Consulting Services. That's our guy, Walt Taylor. We love Walt. You should love Walt, too, because he's bringing you these giveaways. Hashtag Get Your Weight Up in the comment section right now. Don't delay. And at the hour mark, we're going to pull, and a lucky winner will win this t-shirt. Now, you got to be present to win, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you're hanging around and refresh that browser to make sure you are watching live. So when we call your name, you can answer, and we don't have to pull again because that's tragic. Now, if you don't win, you can just buy one. Visit our merch store at thewarreport.com. Click the hamburger icon in the top right. Then click on catalog, and you'll see all the fly merch we have there. Some great stuff in there. We're transitioning to spring. Currently in DC, it's like hoodie weather in the morning, but like swim trunks in the afternoon right now. That's what we're experiencing. So don't know how to dress right now, but you can buy multiple layers at thewarreport.com. Go visit our merch store. Get lots of that stuff in there. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, RogueShop.com. Visit RogueShop.com for all your herbal supplement needs. Now, you guys have been doing a great job going and getting stuff from Rogue Shop. He's been telling me, hey, man, these guys, these War Report guys are coming over here to buy some stuff. I said, it's great. If you want to support us, support our sponsors. They've got some great info. The owner is Richard. He's a great guy. If you have any questions about any of his products, please email him. He's got his email up on the website and his number, so he'll answer any questions you have about their Delta 8 products, their CBD products. But they've got some really good stuff over there, and they are really, really supportive sponsors. So rogueshop.com, check them out. Use code rapport to get 10% off. That's how they know you came over from the War Report. So use code rapport, tell them the War Report sent you. Other than that, guys, listen, man, we're on podcast. This is a growing segment of our business that we are really hype about right now. So we are doing podcast exclusive content. Recently, Ike and Brian got on to just talk about the tournament. Ike very eloquently told us why Alabama is they're bums. They're bums. And you can hear that in audio only every morning. So go over to our podcast, download, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, help us climb the podcast charts. We also dropped a weekly. We're dropping a weekly segment with Auburn memes from Twitter. So memes joins me once a week to talk everything Auburn basketball and some Auburn football. But right now we're in basketball season, so that's what we're focusing on. The podcast is an exciting place to be. Check us out on podcast. I enjoy those conversations. We got some surprises coming for you guys in podcast form as well too. So love doing these live shows, but the audio only helps us bring you even more content.
Indeed. Speaking of spring football is back. Auburn football actually released its 2022 spring roster, and there was some noticeable weight gain. Some guys in the off seasons getting their weight up. To mention a few, Garner Langlow gained 23 pounds. He's now over, or he's at 300. Caden Bridges gained 21 pounds. What was noticeable was Zion Puckett gained 18 pounds. He's now
Zion Puckett out here linebacker size, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was very noticeable. What was also stood out to me was Aku Leota actually put on 17 plus pounds since the last roster was listed. So he's at 257. So that's very interesting. Joko Willis put on 16. He's at 212. Zeke Walker is at 304. He picked up 15. Marcus Harris put on some, I think, much needed weight. He gained 15. He's at 294 from 279. So these guys actually are putting on some weight. I think what was also noticeable was, I think a lineman, Tate Johnson, actually lost 27 pounds. And so he's down under 300. He's sub 300 now at 285, according to what was recently released. Of course, there were some guys mentioned their New Jersey numbers. Jay Fair, Rhyme, and Eugene Asante, the linebacker transfer from North Carolina. Want to talk to you guys just about, one of the things we emphasize is strength and conditioning. We talked about how guys last year, that was a big topic as guys were putting on weight and just bodies just look different. How do we feel about seeing some of these guys like the Aku Leotas, some guys in the trenches putting on extra weight? I'll start with you, Mike G.
Listen, hashtag get your weight up is what the off-season mission is. So some of these weight changes, I'm like, man, these guys a hell of Guthries this off-season. But this is year two. This is year two of this off-season strength and conditioning program. We talked to TJ Finley about it on his interview. And those guys raved about this off-season program last offseason because it was very different from what they were doing. So what they are doing is taking a different approach. You can be strong and fast. There was an idea before in traditional strength and conditioning that getting stronger meant, or putting on bulk meant giving up significant speed. They're a different breed these days. These 230, 240 linebackers can run 4.5s and come get you. So it just is what it is. We need that. We not only do we need to get our weight up, we need to be durable this upcoming season. We got to be bulletproof this upcoming season. You do that in the weight room. So I'm happy to see some of the weight gain. It's a good thing. That's a good thing. You have 2 months essentially from the end of bowl game to 2.5 months. Yeah, from the end of bowl game to the beginning of spring practice to change your body significantly. You'll get a few more months during the summer because you got to ease off some of that weightlifting once you start to get into practice. They'll still lift weights, but it's not as intense. I'm happy with it. I think that this is, you might see a different team. Guys like Jarquez Hunter who came in squatting the Empire State Building In year 2, he's going to be breaking every tackle. If you come at his legs, he might be breaking every tackle. And if you try to tackle him up high, good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited about it. This is going to be something, when you look at some of the, schools like Alabama and Georgia, these guys, a lot of them, especially on defense, just look like physical specimens. You can tell, like, man, they look so developed physically. And, we've had a few guys like that, but Brian Harsin is trying to, put these guys in their Captain America machine and get it going. I'm with it. Let's do it. Looks good.
Speaking of get your weight up, Beast Mode Stoves is at the gym already. What's up, fellas? Eat, sleep, War Eagle, repeat, listen to the War Report while at the gym hitting up these shoulders. That's my guy.
Yeah, shrug it out.
Get your weight up. Also, Andrew Ackerman says, I want to cut up with Mike G saying bums.
Coming.
Chase is about to say, didn't Chase H do that?
No, he's doing it. He texted me today. He was like, I need to timestamp. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah.
Hilarious. So a position group, there's 2 position groups that stands out about this. So I want to kind of get some guys' takes on this. What stood out to me was I saw some linemen on this group, particularly some guys we've recruited recently, and Kobe Smith and Killian Zaire, who was here last year, obviously, who actually played, but also we had Garner Langlow. These are some O-line guys who are actually beefing up. So how significant is it to see some of our young O-linemen who's had a chance to come in, get familiar with what's being asked of them, but also have an opportunity to build their strength, get bigger, get more physical in the offseason? Ike, I'll go with you.
Yeah, listen, I echo the sentiments here of John Brannon. The weight gain is good if it's muscle, right? Like, you don't want to come in overweight and out of shape.
Thanks.
But if you are putting on some good weight, especially at offensive line, when we talk about our difficulty with being able to run block, right? Like, you just need people movers out there if you're going to be a run blocker. You can't get pushed around in the run game. So if you're getting stronger and bigger offensive linemen out there, you have a better chance of being good in the run game. And that's why, again, this is one of those things where I feel like people have to pump the brakes on making, just getting overly concerned about, what are we going to do? We don't know what the change is going to be in some of these guys in this offseason, specifically offensive line. We had a lot of people who didn't see a single snap last year, and I caution people on thinking that's because they weren't good, right? Like, they might not have been the right size and they might have needed another year of development. But with that year of development, they may come out here and be an awesome unit. And then we've got a lot of experience that can help them get acclimated quickly. So it's not as if we don't have people who know the system already. And we've got some young people movers that can come in and step in and start playing. So we do have a possibility to be a good football team next year, but it's way too early to make assessments about that. And I just want people to, relax. I've said it plenty of times. Chill out, man. We're good. It's March. It's March.
Agreed.
It's not time to hit the panic button on the football team. We still got a lot of time to figure out who we got in the rooms.
Indeed. Indeed. Jazzy Joe says, War damn y'all, War Eagle to you, Jazzy.
Jazzy.
Curious where Jazzy is, but there may be a challenge brewing on the rings from that. B Will, some linebackers actually put on some weight. The opportunity again with Zakoby McClain moving on to the next level. Joko Willis put on some weight. Cam Riley put on some weight. He put on 11 pounds. Cam Riley's at 230. Also, Wesley Steiner put on some weight. He's at 237. What do you make about this linebacker position group, as it's expected to be a lot of competition in this spring? Some guys have a great opportunity, but they're making gains in the weight room before practice even starts. What do you make of that position group, seeing those guys get bigger, stronger?
I mean, it's too early to tell exactly what we've got there, because linebacker is an instinctual position. I think the best instincts make the best linebackers, and I'm glad that these guys are fit. Of course, we want them to be solid. We want them to be able to stand up to the punishment that you have to take in the run game, while you're defending as a linebacker. We want to make sure that they don't fall by the wayside. Injuries start eating away at people because we won't have a lot of experience depth. So the guys that are in there, we need them to stay in there and get experienced so they can be steeled by mid-season and kind of get into a groove. And we also want whoever that is in there. If we've got, I guess Papo probably has the most experience of any returning linebacker. We don't want him to go down for 3/4 of a season again. I mean, that's kind of worst case. The one guy who knows what should be going on out there isn't out there anymore. And you do not want a whole core of linebackers learning on the fly. We lost our alpha dog in 2020 at linebacker, and they looked lost without Kenny Britt pretty much the entire rest of the season. Our run defense was atrocious with Britt going down. And that's with some really good linebackers already there, but they weren't experienced as Britt was in the middle. So we want them to be out there, stay healthy, get that experience so we can have a really good unit. So I think we're on the way to that. But whether or not we've got a guy who is as valuable, a single guy who is as valuable as Zacoby McClain was, we don't know that yet. We won't know because Zacoby McClain was so good. You're not taking him off the field to put anybody else at that spot. The one time we did, it wasn't great. So I'm hoping that we have that guy, whether it's, I don't care who it is, Cam Riley. It could be, we've still got Woodyard, right? He was rehabbing from an injury that we signed him and he coming in. We've got pieces. I'm not concerned about the pieces because I've heard that our position coach, Coach Robinson, is a good coach and he was a good linebacker. So that's exciting that we have somebody who is good at coaching that position, but it's just way too early to tell. I'm glad their bodies are going to be ready, but man, they've got a lot to catch up to mentally to be able to be extremely good at that position.
Indeed. Jazzy Joe asks, speaking of challenge, do y'all remember your choices? I could only find Mike's. I got to get a better system. Mine was points on Smith, going over his average.
Mine was always KD, but I don't remember what.
I think in short, Jazzy Joe, the answer is no.
Yeah,
we don't remember the challenge, but we can go back and grab it.
The challenge was Mike was supposed to go over under on Kessler getting to blocks.
I went under
6. He went under.
I went under.
KD on steals from B Will, he needed at least 2. B Will wasn't on the show, so I don't know if he picked anything. Yeah. I had Wendell over on 5 assists, and I don't know what he did in the game. And then C-Dub went over on Jabari with the points, needing 17 at least. So we can look at the stats.
I think he got 17. I know Jabari got 17. Anyway, okay. We can sort that out. Let's talk about the offensive coordinator Eric Keesaw actually speaking with the media, and he was asked about the QB competition. Of course, he didn't give no specifics, saying that there was pretty much no timeline. But what was interesting about spring practice was actually seeing Zach Calzada out there participating in some drills. He had on a yellow jersey, which meant that he was going to be limited, but he is participating in the drills. So my assumption was that Calzada would probably be very limited, may not even factor at all in the competition this spring. But do you guys see him actually playing a factor this spring, seeing as though he's already out there participating in drills?
Yeah, it's more than just the scrimmage type situations. They'll probably keep him out of those, but the one-on-ones, those individual drills where you're throwing essentially against air to get timing down with the receivers, that's a big part of this QB battle. A lot of the stuff against air where you're just consistently trying to show the coaches that you're going to throw a good ball. So what is that, right? That's the right velocity with good placement. It's a good ball. You have one without the other, and you've got uncertainty in that throw. So they're trying to take the uncertainty out of our passing game from that aspect. It is really, really difficult. We've talked to pro receivers It's difficult to play your position when you have no idea where the ball is going to be on routine throws.
Yeah.
If you're constantly having to adjust to wide open routine throws, production will be limited. We had two guys that went pro, and their draft profile said just that. Production was limited due to inaccurate throws from the quarterback position. That has been a theme at Auburn for a while. Guys like Nick Marshall, right? Can you imagine if Marshall was accurate? He threw a decent ball, but he did a good job getting the ball to the receivers. But ultimately, sometimes playmaking was limited. Like, listen, we all love the prayer and Jordan Air. That was a terrible throw.
Yeah, it was.
It was an awful throw.
Yeah.
Right. He actually missed a wide open receiver in the championship game too in the first drive of the game.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that would have looked like it was going to be a touchdown.
It would have been 6 if he.
Yeah,
had
it was
hit
going to
him
be
on the
6.
money.
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, hey, it's more than just about, hey, he caught it, or if you get your hands on it, you got to catch it. I hate that. Let's stop saying that in 2022, right? Ball placement matters. You got to get the ball. That was TJ's problem as well too in the 3 games that he played. Ball placement. Overthrown receivers but he dropped some dimes, but you got to do that consistently.
Yep.
Your next throw can't be in the stands, and then the throw after that is right on the money. That's very frustrating for a receiver, especially when you're wide open.
Yeah.
Looking to make a play. So if I'm having to do all this to catch the ball, you also give the defensive back time
to get
to
back
recover.
into the play. Yeah,
For sure.
If he's beat. An underthrown deep ball brings the defensive back into the play. An overthrown deep ball just kills it. So that's what they're going to be trying to establish early in spring practice. And if you listen to Brian Harson's comments on this, he said, listen, you're going to have a bunch of guys and they're going to look great, but at some point, somebody's got to separate themselves in this quarterback battle. That's where you start to separate early in the quarterback competition. Consistency in the little things.
Yep.
Is the quick out? Is it where it needs to be? And are you giving the running backs and the receivers a chance to make a play after the catch because you threw a good ball? Say it with me. Like it's not just getting it to the receiver or to the running back. How you throw the ball matters. There are all different kinds of throws.
Right.
When you hear them talk about throwing with touch, that's it. It's the balance between velocity and ball placement. And to place the ball where it needs to be sometimes you got to take a lot off of it or just to make it catchable. You can't go out there and throw fastballs and then expect these and then blame the receivers for dropping it. I will die on that hill too. If we have a bunch of drops, I'm always looking at how are those balls thrown? It's not always on the receiver. Or are we setting our receivers up to get killed? Leading them over the middle or not dropping, setting, some of the best throws that are made between a quarterback or a receiver is when the quarterback sees where the defender's at and he leads the receiver where he needs to go to keep him from getting his head taken off. I'm put this low and I'm going to sit him down because the safety's coming. They're going to be looking at those things. And if we have that this year, I'm telling you, Auburn's going to shock a lot of people. And suddenly these receivers are going to look so great and everybody's going they made all this progress in the offseason. So that's how you start to separate. That's what they're going to be looking at. Keesau and Harsin are responsible for that product. So everybody's clear. This is a joint venture between our head coach and our newly crowned offensive coordinator. They're going to be responsible for the product at quarterback. And I would challenge each and every one of these quarterbacks that once the spring is over, go out and find yourself a QB coach. Find somebody to work with in the offseason on the fundamentals and the mechanics, creating that consistency.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. So, I mean, what makes a good shooter, Ike, right? Your shooting motion is the same every time. You practice 100 shots at the free throw line because you're not shooting every free throw differently.
Right.
A quarterback, when you have to practice these different throws, and you need to be able to make them the same way every time. You're not developing that skill in these scrimmage situations in practice, guys. You're deploying it in those situations. You're developing that in the fundamental drills. And in the offseason, when you put work in with your receivers, when no coaches are watching. That's where a lot of these quarterback battles are won and lost. And all the stuff that's done when nobody's watching. So this spring, we're going to see early, and when he talks about separation, it should happen fairly quickly. You're going to be able to tell the guys who whatever they were working on from January to March, did it stick?
Yeah.
And you have to eliminate people pretty quickly from this competition, or you're going to have a mess.
You got to figure out who's getting the reps with who, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get through those rotations with 2 or 3 maybe, but if all 5 guys are right there on par with one another, it's going to be a big problem trying to figure out how to consistently get groups together on the field and run things together.
Yep.
Yeah. Question about the offense. Kisa also mentioned that there's going to be obviously some similarities with this year's offense as opposed to last year's offense. But one of the things that he said that stood out to me was they were going to build a foundation that's centered around Tank and centered around our running backs. He kind of reiterated something that Harsin said last year as it pertains to the identity of this team as being a downhill run offense. They says will try to do some things differently to cater to what Tank can do in terms of his running style, and even mentioned as far as studying what teams in the NFL are doing with running back talent like Tank. What I want to ask you guys, and I'll start with you, Ike, on this. One of the things that was really frustrating is that there were times when the run game was working, but we went away from it for the sake of being balanced. So there's a balancing effort in terms of keeping the defense honest, but maintaining your identity, especially if it's working. Moving forward, what do we expect to see out of this offense? Do they lean into their strengths and things they're able to do well and take what the defense is giving them, or do they switch it up just for the sake of it?
I'm hoping that we just go with what's working, right? Just continue to work with what's working. But I think a lot of what is going to be successful in terms of whether or not we can maintain balance is going to come back down to what Mike was just talking about. And that's how well the quarterback is doing at being accurate with the football. Because even in those instances where we're like, oh man, why didn't we just run the ball there? Some of those times the play was open, we just missed it. From whether it's a receiver dropping a pass or a quarterback not hitting a guy or choosing the wrong guy to go to on the route decision, right? Like, it wasn't all just poor play calling, but I do hope that we understand when we're being dominant up front, and we have to just continue to do what's working as opposed to going away from it, like you said, for the sake of balance. I don't care anything about balance, and hopefully they don't care anything about balance when it is at the detriment of productivity on our offense, especially in situations where it's gonna be a close game, right? So listen, let's just choke the clock out on them, and if we have 2, maybe 3 or 4 good running backs on this roster, sub a guy out, let somebody else in and get him some work, right? Like, just keep moving people out of the way and keep running the ball down their throat. That can be a recipe for winning. I know this is the day and age of everybody wants to have 400 yards through the air and all that kind of stuff. Listen, man, I don't care. Win the game. And if it takes us running the ball, 40 times in that game to do that, and that's what we need to do. Just be committed to a winning strategy.
Yeah. Will, I'll say this last question for you guys. If you want to chime in, feel free. But Jeff Smedding also talked to the media about his side of the ball and just mentioned the fact that there's competition everywhere. Our starters are pretty much intact for the most part. on D line, but we lost a lot of guys in terms of depth, and so there's a lot of competition there as well. You talk about, we already mentioned linebacker position with Jacoby McClain being gone. Owen Papo is out this spring, so that leaves a lot of opportunity. Of course, we know what we're missing in the defensive backs, but to you, what's the most important position group on the defensive side of the ball to watch this spring?
That's tough. I think it's linebacker. I think it's linebacker because we have the least amount of experience there. In the secondary, we've got JUCO guys, but we're talking about guys who have been playing college ball for 2 years, and they were really good JUCO guys. I think they were the number one safety. We got the number one corner in JUCO. We've got some experience, even if they aren't experienced running what we're about to run in the defensive backfield. But the linebacker, we've got Papo, who had a solid 2 years, but his third year, he didn't play much. He still has some things to improve upon, even when he did play. We've got a transfer from North Carolina, Eugene Asante. I honestly don't know how much he's actually played in his 4 years of eligibility, but I don't think he was a starter for 3 of those years. He doesn't have so many games under his belt. We've got a lot of guys back there. Joko Willis, he essentially redshirted, but we've got people, Cam Riley, Wesley Steiner. They've seen the field, but they have not seen the field consistently.
Tisdall.
Yeah, I forgot about Tisdall. So we've got to figure out who our 1, 2, and 3 are. Excuse me. We've got to figure out who those guys are. And I think it's going to be a little bit of, I don't want to say it's going to be dicey early, but how do we know which one of them fits best as the middle linebacker? We know Steiner's the smartest guy on the field from all reports from everybody, but is he going to take on those responsibilities of calling the plays, getting everybody lined up? Or is there somebody who's a better physical presence there instead of Steiner? They've got a lot to figure out there. I think that's where we're most up in the air. But I mean, that's why you got coaches, man. And again, I'm putting a lot of, let's say, I think the fact that everything's settled and the people who are here want to be here makes the process of finding the right guys a lot easier. You don't have to play people because you think, well, if I don't play him, I don't have anybody else. So even though I'm not really okay with how you carry yourself, I'm going to play you anyway. We don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to worry about whether somebody's going to bolt because you don't play him enough snaps in any given game. I think everybody who's here wants to be here. So I think that makes it a lot easier to just find the right guys, put them on the field, and the people who aren't on the field will actually be supportive and continue to improve in practice.
Real quick, before we get to the break, let's knock out these super chats. Jazzy, my man, this one's on me. Y'all all win.
Man, look at that, man. Appreciate that, Jazzy.
He is in
Lame location challenge.
Missouri.
Actually, Gabby took my answer. I was going to go with South Cackalack.
He's in Missouri. He's in Missouri.
You're going with Missouri?
I'm going with Missouri.
What say you, B?
Final answer.
Virginia. I'm saying Virginia.
Virginia, not bad.
I don't know why. Double dribble.
Yes,
he was there investigating the double dribble.
I'm going to say he is in Georgia.
Okay. He'll let us know. We may be just dead wrong, but hey, maybe one of us may have gotten it.
I mean, it's 50 states and we're guessing at 4 of them. So, I mean, 48.
I'd like to point out the first one of these challenges we won.
Yeah. That is correct.
That is correct. He was in Mississippi and we were concerned.
William Nichols says, I saw a report where during practice, the new wide receiver coach called that group a shit show right now. Does this concern y'all with Keesaw taking over QBs?
Is he calling QBs a shit show or the wide receiver?
No,
wide receiver.
He's asking like with Keesaw moving. Mike with the dub. Wow.
Boom, baby.
My guy.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Missouri
Mike
for
always
the win.
guesses it. He's been the person to guess it right every time. I think it's like the 3rd time.
No, I got the last one.
I got it right once.
I got the Texas one.
Yeah, he did.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy that we get 4 guesses, but we out of the 48 states that could possibly be, we're guessing it right. Pretty high frequency here. Anyway, I don't think it concerns me just because he's new with this group and trying to figure out I mean, Keesau had more experience with that group, but I don't think that, again, it's March. So, no, I'm not concerned today. If he still feels like that in the fall,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I would also warn everybody against coach speak. Right. I don't know the context for this report. Right. So when people say report, I'm like, okay, was this a message board thing, or did somebody actually write this? Is there a link to the context in which he said that? But when the coaches are out there coaching hard, man, they will say a lot of things that sound bad, right? And so I could easily see him being early. This group is new to him. He's seeing things he doesn't like, and then he says something like that.
And you got to remember where he came from too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Listen, they're
Like
not mincing
that
words
place.
up there. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I've heard Tomlin's hot mics, man. Like, I don't know. So I wouldn't read too much into. I just wouldn't read too much into that at this point.
Yeah, and I think Ike brings up a great point. It's just March. If he's saying this in October, yes, we should be deeply concerned if it's still that
you got
way.
a lot of new guys in that group, and a coach that is trying to figure out how to coach guys to be successful, not just in this program, but just as wide receivers in general. A lot of youth, a lot of inexperience. They're likely going to look like that early. But the question is, how hard are they willing to work, and how quickly can they get acclimated? Not necessarily where they are day 2 of spring practice.
Right.
So yeah, not concerned yet, but definitely something to keep an eye on. I think we all expected the wide receiver group to need some work, and hopefully, based upon the track record of this coach, he's going to put them in a position to be successful. And if they can get 70% of where they need to be before we start playing games in the fall, I think that's good, because we have to remember how terrible our wide receivers looked early last year, right? We definitely have some work to do in that group. There's no denying that, but I'm not worried about it day 2, day 3 now.
Yeah, agreed. Well, guys, listen, do us a favor. If you haven't already, please show us some love. Get the thumbs up, like this video. Those of you who are watching live, even if you're not commenting, we appreciate those who have been commenting, dropping super chats. God bless you, people. Do us a favor and smash that like button as well. Do it anonymously. Just do it. All right. Appreciate that. We go pause to acknowledge the sponsors of the War Report.
The War Report's Wednesday Night War Room is brought to you by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. University Ace Hardware, located at 2101 East University Drive in Auburn, Alabama, right across the street from the Auburn Mall and next to the movie theater. For all of your hardware needs, Ace is the place. And our giveaway sponsor, GWT2 Energy. If you want the best in the business at restaurant logistics, check out our friends at GWT2Energy.com.
Hey, become a patron. Become a patron.
Uh-oh.
Become a patron. Click that join button on our YouTube channel. Become part of our community. We appreciate everybody who goes over and does this. This helps the War Report grow. $5.99 at a time. So we have a lot of patrons. We're looking for even more going into the season. So all the hard work is done in the off season, guys. People seem kind of set in their ways and their habits once the season gets started. So spread the word about the War Report, become a patron, and encourage those around you to become patrons as well too. This is the way of the world. This is the way. And this is the way that we get to doing this full time and bringing you guys even more amazing content. We're partnered with the Lee County Humane Society to do something even more amazing than becoming a patron, which is saving a puppy's life and helping that puppy find a home where he can bring joy to somebody else. I have a rescue. Ike has a rescue. Caesar and Brian support us in our rescues. And we just want other people to find that joy. I don't know what I would do. I started thinking the other day, I was like, man, like one day you're not going to be here and I'm going to be sad. Like my dog brings so much joy to my life. We want other people to find that joy. And there's something about rescuing a dog that is very special, like a bond that is very hard to describe. When you rescue an animal, I almost feel like they know you rescued them and they're appreciative. But rescue dogs tend to be very loyal. Help us help them find other people find that joy. So 50 cents on every dollar donated goes to them to help them in that mission. You can find the link to that in the About section of our YouTube channel. Now, we're giving away a t-shirt. Hashtag Get Your Weight Up in the comments. This is brought to you by our guy, Walt Taylor, at GWT2 Energy Consulting Services. So Walt is one of our oldest and longest supporters, and he helps us give this merch away every live stream. So hashtag Get Your Weight Up in the comments. We will pull at the 1 hour mark, but you got to be here to win. So clear. If you stepped away from your stream, or if you had to go check something, make sure you refresh to make sure you're up to date at the 1 hour mark. So you can hear your name called, and we don't have to go move on to somebody else. Now, shout out to Rogue Apothecary. That's rogueshop.com. This is our guy, Richard, doing some great stuff. So for all your herbal supplement needs, please go to rogueshop.com and use code RAPPORT for 10% off on checkout. Really important that you use that code so that he knows you came over from the War Rapport, and drop him some reviews as well, too. For those of you who have ordered, let us know what your experience has been with Rogue Shop products. We like to hear that. He sent us a lot of stuff. My parents have bought stuff from them. They've got some really, really good stuff there. So support us by supporting our sponsors, rogueshop.com. We're on podcast, every single podcast platform. We are there producing now a podcast exclusive content every week. Listen, we might start running some podcast trivia stuff about what we talk about on podcasts. We're doing things exclusive. We have exclusive guests on podcasts now. So if you get tired of hearing me talk, you can listen to somebody else talk when we bring guests on the podcast. So it's really fun doing these extra segments here. We're growing that segment of our business for those of you who need to listen to the War Report, but on the run. So we can't talk about everything in 90 minutes, and doing these podcasts helps us cover other topics and more focused and specifically on things that you guys want to talk about. So check us out on podcasts. We're on every single podcast platform. Leave a review, download, subscribe, let them know the War Report. You need more of it.
Indeed. Real quick, he says Ike sounds so smooth when he says the best in the business and restaurant logistics. It sounds like in bars. Andrew, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
He is
literally spits bars.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah. That's the thing that he does.
He's a wordsmith. What can he say? So as he does his, probably how he sounds when he did the whole. But anyway, definitely wanted to highlight that. Also, Jazzy also wanted to let y'all know that I was supposed to get the War Report logo on the truck this week, but they pushed my appointment back, and I can't stay that long. I promise it's coming, y'all.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm really excited about this. He's been telling me about it. He was like, "Oh man, they pushed." I was like, "No worries, just tag us when you do it."
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Jazzy's rig, it's a gorgeous beast.
It's impressive.
Yeah,
it's
love
impressive. It's impressive. And I will be even more impressed when he puts the logo on. No rush, Jazzy. We know you're good for it,
bro. Whenever
we know, if anyone knows you're good for it, it's us.
Yeah. Whenever that happens, I'm excited, bro. I don't care if it's a year and a half from now. I'm gonna still be just as excited.
Yeah, man. So people are asking about our brackets. We'll get to that in a minute. We need to talk about some other business that's taking place this week.
Why y'all always want to talk about stuff when we not talking about the stuff? When we talk about basketball, y'all want to talk about football. When we talk about football, y'all want to talk about basketball. Why y'all always doing it?
Auburn held its pro day this week, and we had some participants, had some people show up. Some people we didn't know who they were, but the people you're about to see are people we do know. All right. Here are your results. I think that may be blocking out one name. Yeah. There. So I'll get rid of that.
Chandler.
Tony Fair, Geis, Rodarius Ham, Darius Knighton, Aiden Marshall, Zacoby McClain, Roger McCreary, Smoke Monday, TD Moultrie, Demetrius Robertson, Colby Wooden all participated. And we see their numbers here. I think what we will point out is that those who did participate in the actual combine, Scomey McLean, Roger McCreary, Smoke Monday, are all kind of like in the middle of this section here. I thought what was very interesting about when I look at some of these numbers for McCreary and Smoke Monday is with McCreary did fairly well. But what stands out is his bench press, which was he did 19, I think, at 225. He did 19 of those. Pretty strong dude, which explains why he's so physical and press man. Not the fastest corner, obviously, but he makes up for it with his strength. Guys, your thoughts on Roger McCreary there and his performance on Pro Day?
I'm very happy that he went sub 4.5 at least.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like the strongest, but yeah, sub 4.5 is still in a good range for him to be that strong.
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
And he's not a big dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just out there moving weight.
Yeah. So I mean, he's going to at a 4.46, right? If he can kind of outthink receivers and get to a spot get a step, 4.46 is fast enough to play at the next level. Yeah. So
Pro Football Focus has him like the 54th, I want to say, draft prospect. They think very highly of this kid.
Late second round
is what they got him. Ike is like, for real. But
I mean, I understand why, but listen, we'll see when we get to the draft.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's more than just measurables as well too. You got to remember,
right? That's what I'm saying. His tape don't lie though, bro. Like,
yeah,
but the tape don't lie.
These guys go through like
drills,
psych evaluations and tests. And there's a test called the Wonderlic. You take the Wonderlic and it assesses certain things about you that may affect your draft position as well. So that factors in. We don't always know what the results of those tests are. Like, I'm not really sure they post Wonderlic scores. Every once in a while, they leak out.
You'll hear about somebody's Wonderlic every now and then, but they don't just put the whole everybody's score out there. Nah.
You usually hear about it when it's an indictment on them.
Yeah. Like if somebody scored a 2, on their Wonderlic, you're gonna hear about it.
Or they like if it's extremely low or extremely high, right? People who are just kind of average, you never really hear their scores. But if they like,
now
amazing.
Devin Aroma should talk to us about draft position, and he pretty much said, like, listen, if you get taken in the first 3 rounds, they expect you to be ready to play within 1 to 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
So being the 54th pick is a big deal because that's a guy who they expect to get on the field and contribute. Now, I mentioned that it's not just about these like test results, these physical test results. When these people are talking about investing millions of dollars into a player, they dig into your whole life, everything you ever did. These teams know, especially if you're going to be a number 1 pick. You're going to be a number 1 overall pick. They're going to know every time you scratched your ass from birth until now. They're going to ask questions. They're going to interview people close to you. It's pretty intense. I don't know. I don't think many people understand how intrusive that process is because they're like, hey, we're going to give you a max rookie contract that's fully guaranteed. And that's usually what happens for the rookies these days is that because they put limits on what you can make in your rookie contract. It started Cam's year because the year before Cam, Bradford got like 54 million guaranteed or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And Cam was the number 1 overall pick, and his contract was worth 22, but they guaranteed the whole contract. Bradford's was like 70 million, 54 guaranteed, and a lot of the veterans were complaining. You're giving all this money to these rookies, and then you're giving proven vets trade deals like crappy deals. I liked it that they did minimize the investment into rookies until you know that guy's going to pan out. But 22 million guaranteed is still a lot of money. And I mean, I wish I had a job where I signed and it said, hey, if you fire me for poor performance, I get the rest of my deal. That'd be sweet. But they still have to pay that money out, and then there are salary cap implications. So they want to know everything about you before they invest that kind of money into a player. And these tests are only a part of it. So, there may be other reasons why he's at 54. We won't always know. But I do think, I don't think you get the kind of play that you got from Roger McCreary this year if he didn't have a lot of the intangibles off the field.
Right. Question here, Riley. I know, Riley. I know.
Yeah,
Smoke
I think it's
didn't
interesting
run
to
the
see
40.
the people who didn't do
What did he run at
whatever
the
they
combine?
didn't do. Right.
He ran like a
he did,
4.5.
Yeah, he ran it's like a mid 4.5.
In other words, he needed to have run it at this pro day.
Yeah.
Which is why this is the thing.
Yeah, he
okay.
needed a
So
better
like the only logic I could see is that if you felt like you weren't going to run it faster, it's better to just not run it at all than to go out there and know you're going to put up a slower number. So if he was hampered by some kind of injury or something, that might be a reason why he didn't run it.
Yeah, I don't know the reasoning
We
behind it.
We don't know if he's I mean that could be assuming that is the case, but assuming he's healthy, I'm wondering why he didn't. Because again, the narrative about, and we've said it throughout the season with Smoke, is that Smoke is he plays run. He plays the run well. But in terms of pass coverage, that's a liability. So the last thing you need to be is slow on your 40 time to all but convince scouts that, hey, this isn't a guy that we can rely on in pass coverage. So I think if you want
things that stick out to me on this thing though, like the fact that Tony Fair didn't bench is interesting to me.
Knighton.
Yeah, I mean, by Darius Knighton not benching, I am not super like. I mean, I think that I don't know that he was going to put an impressive number up on the bench.
Knighton I didn't realize how the 4.65 by Knighton.
Yeah. But like then you got D-Rob not doing the bench. You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers, I mean, he's not.
It's not critical for wide receivers at all.
But then he didn't run like a particularly great number. I mean, the 4.47 is good, right? Don't get me. I'm not saying the 4.47 is not good, but like I just expected him to be faster than that. The other one that was kind of interesting to me is how, like, for Smoke Monday to not run and then to put up only 10 on the bench. I'm just like, yo, bro, like, I don't know those were good measurables for those guys.
Yeah, listen, the benches, it's in Smoke's deal. I'm not sure the bench was super important. But I don't know. He would, again, if you're gonna put up a super low number, he would have been better off just not doing it at all.
Yeah, because you have to kind of know what range you're in before you get to the pro day.
Yeah, like I can do 225 10 times. So that doesn't really tell you anything about him as a player. But I do know that there's some strategy to that. You have guys who will not even throw at the combine. They'll only throw at their pro day or vice versa. And there's a reason for that, right? Some guys are just like, I just want to throw in an environment that I can control with receivers that I choose. And they feel, we heard about Cam's pro day, over 10 years ago, and they said it was one of the best pro days they had ever seen, one of the best workouts they'd ever seen. And I don't even know if it was a pro day. I think it was like a scheduled workout they did for scouts. They set up something just for the scouts, but that controlled environment kind of helps them a little bit. So these pro day results kind of give you, I think, like just a general idea of where a player's at. And not a lot of, some of you guys may not have a gauge for what's good on that 225, but you expect a lineman to do 225 at least 30 times in my book.
Yeah.
30 times or more in my book on the 225 test would be reasonable. Way back in the day, after Willis McGahee broke his leg and then went pro that next year, he did his 225 test was 28 reps he put up. That's impressive for a running back.
Yeah.
Really impressive for a running back. That means when he's meeting linemen in the hole, he can win that battle up front. That stiff arm is going to be mean at 28 reps.
Yeah.
So, you get a gauge for athleticism. It's not everything. These tests aren't everything. But it is a chance if you are a guy who did not have the on-the-field results to get your athleticism noticed by a scout to move up.
Right. Also, too, you get an opportunity to get FaceTime with scouts and maybe even coaches who come on campus to meet with you if they're interested in you as well. And sometimes you can have a good showing or a good workout, but when you talk to these coaches, you can leave a bad impression as well. So it can work against you or for you. So that's another thing that coaches look at when they talk to these guys at these pro days or even at the combine, to get an opportunity to sit with them just to get their understanding of football, of the game, and what they're asking them to do. So that's something else to keep in mind with these pro days as well. So even if you don't see a lot of measurables on these guys, if there are serious guys that they're looking at, they're probably having meetings and whatnot with them to getting to know them better. So, well, it's about giveaway time before we get into the latter part of the show. What are we giving away? We're giving away a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys know what to do. Hashtag get your weight up in the comments. Do that. While we wait on you guys to do that, let's have a word with another one of our show sponsors, Rogue Shop.
This segment of the War Report is brought to you in part by RogueShop.com.
If you're in need of high-quality, all-natural herbs and extracts that contribute to a happy, healthy lifestyle, the Rogue Shop is the place for you. With a variety of products that contribute to a healthy sleep, lower stress, and a happy mood, the Rogue Shop has you covered. Visit them at DRogueShop.com and use code RAPPORT today. Tell them the War Report sent you.
You guys know what to do. Hashtag get your weight up. Lawrence says hashtag it's my turn. I believe in you, Lawrence. I believe in Lawrence. I believe it is his turn.
Y'all get your stuff in there.
Look for Lisa's name, man. Look for Lisa's name. She's been getting gypped lately.
Yeah.
Not even see her name go by. This algorithm might be a little biased.
Lawrence said he needs a War Report fishing pole.
All right.
I get you a sticker. You put it on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, we get enough patrons, we'll put anything in that merch store. Let's see here. He says, "I will." Andrew Ackerman.
We got a couple of minutes here before the drawing is supposed to happen. I might just hit the button because I don't like waiting for a long time. But what I can say is we are about to talk basketball. For those of you who have been waiting for that.
Yes.
Closing out to talk basketball. We're going to get into tournaments, make some picks here.
We're gonna pick a bracket.
Yeah, we're gonna do
pick
all
a bracket
of that,
with you guys.
Yeah, man.
So definitely shout out to our guy Walt, man. Always making sure we can continue to do these giveaways. And let's get to it, man.
Yeah.
It's funny where we are now, where people are like, man, let's hurry up and get to the basketball talk.
Right.
Oh, I saw Lisa. I saw her in the beginning. Lisa, I saw you.
That doesn't help her at the end, though.
Roy Strong.
Now this is a new name here.
Definitely a new name right there. Roy, if you haven't been here, you know
are you here, sir?
Bro. Yeah.
You know, when it's not a name people recognize, they're gonna say he gone.
He gone.
So let us know if
they
you
recognize him or not. It don't matter.
That is true. That is very true.
Roy, where you at, buddy? Where you at?
There
he
is.
is. Hey, listen, we need you to do something for us. Email us. Business at the War Report. Business at the War Report. Send us your address and your t-shirt size. Don't forget your t-shirt size. I will not follow up. I will just send you whatever I feel like. So, Business at the War Report. Congratulations to Roy on winning tonight's prize. If you didn't win, go to the merch store and check that stuff out, man. It's hot.
So Lawrence is the new Corey. Lisa may be the new Lawrence. So we already got a backup in the event that Lawrence wins. Lisa, you're next. You're next. So, guys, let's talk about it. It's tourney time.
Yeah,
it's time to pick them. What we picking, guys?
We are picking. Okay. How we want to do this? We just want to put this up and talk about it. We're going to go down every region. Yeah. And we're gonna talk about this, and then when we get to Auburn, we'll spend some time on that. So.
I'll get rid of this so we can see everything.
Yeah, I'm going to pull this up here and boom, bracket time. Let's go. So let's start in the West region where this high school is playing another high school here in one of the other matchups. Guys, how do we feel about this first round matchup with with Gonzaga and Georgia State? Georgia State, any chance at this one?
No.
No, I'm gonna go Gonzaga here.
Okay, cool. So Georgia State. It's their fan. I want you guys to know it's their fans. This is kind of like a compelling matchup. This 8 versus 9, Memphis versus Boise State.
Yeah, that one I did not know how to pick, man.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pick that one either. I'm gonna
say Memphis just because I feel like they've finally gotten their act together. But geez, man, that's hard.
Yeah. So versus top 25, Boise State's played 1 and lost. Memphis is 3-1. I was leaning Memphis.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Memphis on this one.
75 points per game versus 68 points per game.
And Memphis was dealing with like injuries early in the season too. Another reason they was dropping games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so it sounds like they could be back healthy.
Yeah, we all agree. Memphis, chat, how you guys feel? Oh, I see a lot of Boise States in here. The Fighting Penny Hardaways. Yes, he does coach them. So I'm gonna go Memphis here. UConn, New Mexico State. Now this is an Auburn opponent here. I've got them going pretty deep in my bracket. I think they have a chance to make a run here. And I actually have
this is what I'm saying, Lisa. Memphis went 10-1 to end the season, bro. Like I just feel like Memphis is starting.
You better hit us with them stats, Lisa. You better hit us with them.
Listen, paying attention. I got UConn going pretty deep in my bracket. So
I got UConn at least beating New Mexico State. I'll tell you that.
Okay, yeah. So we agree here on UConn.
Yeah.
This is a resume bolster for Auburn. Arkansas versus Vermont. Does Note and crew get out of the first round?
I mean, I don't have any reason to think that they don't. Vermont's not a pushover, though. I'll say that. That's a tough draw for them. But I am gonna go Arkansas on that.
I'm going to go. That is a tough draw for them, man.
Yeah, man. It's 4 versus 13. They went 17-1 in conference.
It's a scary game for Arky, man.
They played 1 top 25 team and lost. They're allowing 6.
You're going.
That's what I'm saying. Like
a tough defensive team.
Vermont's not a pushover, man. Like
okay. I think Vermont. Well, I got Vermont winning this.
What?
I got Vermont. Y'all put Arkansas ahead, but just
okay.
Listen, I'm not mad at a Vermont pick here because I think Vermont is a tough team to play. I'm picking Arkansas, but I'm not mad at anybody who picks Vermont.
Guys, none of these picks make sense. Like someone's going to lose who has no business.
Do you guys have Vermont? You got Vermont, Ike?
No, I'm picking. Okay. I pick
Arkansas. Move Arkansas, but I'm saying I think Vermont.
Yeah, I'm picking
Arkansas. He does his own personal bracket. He's going to pick Vermont there.
So, y'all already know what I'm going to do with this next one. It doesn't even matter which one of these two teams advances. They're bums. Guys, they're bums. They're bums. They are imposters.
It doesn't matter if it's Rutgers or Notre Dame.
Their whole team is one big forgery. They are imposters. Bums. I can't with these guys, man. Like in 6 versus 11, I mean that's still a pretty tough matchup.
Who do you have?
They won't give us any stats on
this
game. Is going
until they get it's
being played right now.
I do think it matters which of these two teams wins. Because I don't know. Well, so let me just say this: I don't know a lot about Rutgers, but I think that Notre Dame is a worse matchup for Bama.
Oh, they haven't started that game yet. It starts in 5 minutes.
I don't know, man. I don't really care who wins that game, to be honest.
Listen. Do not pick Alabama.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Texas State versus Montana State.
Texas Tech, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Texas Tech.
Tech. I got Texas.
Michigan State Davidson. Whew, I don't know. I feel like Davidson could do this. And Michigan State has been really iffy this year.
Yeah, that is probably one of the more likely upsets in the first round. You want to give Michigan State the benefit of having a program that's been there, done that, but Davidson has as well. I would actually pick the upset here.
Yeah, I'm going Davidson as well. Duke, CSU, Fullerton.
Duke.
Yeah. Okay. And then Baylor, Norfolk.
Baylor.
Yeah. Okay. So we're in. So that was so Duke finished out the what bracket was that? The West bracket, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
So now we're down to the East bracket here. So let me zoom back in on the East. And we're going Baylor, Norfolk State. Does anybody really think?
No.
Nah.
Okay.
Baylor
They're
should
gonna
win
pull
this
a
game. If
Virginia.
they do, then this just solidifies how terrible they are.
Got to take a closer look at this one. North Carolina, UNC.
This is an interesting one as well, because UNC has been an up and down team this season. I've always been a big supporter of Tar Heels, so it's tough for me to pick against them.
I
But
got
in
you.
this
I got
instance,
UNC.
I actually would take Marquette, honestly.
Ooh, tiebreaker to
Okay.
Mike G.
I got UNC on this one.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with Ike on this one. I think Marquette takes this matchup.
B. Will dropped off just in time, so we don't have to debate this too much. We just go with tiebreakers.
Yeah, right.
All right.
St. Mary's versus Indiana. Now, St. Mary's played Gonzaga like 3 times this season. They won one of them. They beat them by 10 plus at the end of the season, and then they lost to Gonzaga in the conference title game. What do we feel here?
I don't know what to make of this team.
Yeah, I mean, St. Mary's, though they have played well against some of the better teams, I just think that Indiana is the better basketball team here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna pick Indiana for the upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Indiana on this one. This is your 5 versus 12, right?
Like I'm gonna go Indiana too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't really when I saw him in the Western Championship against the Gonzaga. I was like, they look all right. But yeah, I think Indiana gets them.
Here we go. Justin Aldridge. Yes, I agree, bro. It is a high school league. No respect for me. The UCLA versus Akron. Now, fun fact. Last year, UCLA tied the 1986 LSU Tigers for the lowest seed ever to make it to a Final Four. Only twice has an 11 seed ever made it to the Final Four, and not once has a 12 seed ever made it. So this year, UCLA is a 4 seed. How much of that carries over into this year? I like UCLA to advance.
Same.
Yeah. Here, anybody picking an upset?
No.
Yeah.
The stats look pretty. Yeah, UCLA on this one. Boom. Texas, Virginia Tech. Now, Tech, ACC champs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ACC champs. How do we feel about this one, fellas? Versus Texas.
I mean, my gut instinct is going Texas.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. 3-8 versus top 25 opponents. 2-3. BPI rank is pretty close.
This is a tough.
Yeah, man, I mean, this is an even matchup.
Oh man, I'm going Texas.
Yeah, this is a pick 'em.
Yeah.
I like Tech. I like Tech. I like the conference. They're hot right now. They won their conference tournament. I think it carries over.
It's the ACC. I'm going Texas.
Going Texas? Oh man, overruled. Purdue, Yale.
Purdue. We saw Yale early this year. I have no reason to think.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Murray State. Listen,
Murray State.
These are our brothers, right? Like, can they make a run versus San Francisco, which is another Gonzaga opponent? The Gonzaga fans swear it's like one of the best teams ever, just not being talked about. But I like anybody that Gonzaga played getting bounced early. So Murray State.
Your pettiness is on. I'm gonna say you're about a level 7 in petty tonight.
Yeah, listen, we have to. We almost have to. After the whole like Auburn Twitter thing with Murray State, we got to roll with them until we reasonably can't, which I feel like might be soon. Kentucky versus St. Peter's.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
see
going
St.
Kentucky.
Peter's having a prayer in this game.
And then we're still rolling down here. So
Are they playing that game currently?
uh
Or is this another bracket here? That's
this is
another bracket.
another
Okay.
bracket, yeah. So like we're going into the next one now.
South region.
Right. So Arizona, I think we can all agree that they're just
Yeah.
I don't even know who this other team is that they're going to play. Like I know they're getting down right now and beating the brakes off of
Bryant. It's Bryant. Yeah.
Yeah. Wright State is winning this game, I think, but or has won that game. But yeah, Arizona.
Yeah, Wright State won 93-82.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there'll be the matchup there.
Okay.
Coming back here, Seton Hall TCU again. These 8 versus 9s.
I
Very
think
even,
I'm gonna
very
go
even matchup.
TCU here.
It's pretty even.
Oh yeah, this is a pick 'em for me as well. I could
It
go
is.
either way.
I'm gonna go.
I'm picking TCU. I like TCU.
I like TCU as well.
I'm not mad at that pick. So
Okay. All right. Houston UAB. Now, this is intriguing. A lot of
Yeah.
people feel like UAB could make a Sweet 16 run.
Houston's really good though.
I got Auburn memes is picking UAB. He's their Cinderella.
Oh
His
yeah.
Cinderella is UAB. Yeah. This is a team Alabama beat earlier this season.
I want to go with the home team UAB just out of the respect for Birmingham.
Good season, man.
I just don't know that I don't know if they can beat Houston. That's a bad draw for me.
That is. I'm gonna go.
I like UAB. I like the 12 to upset the 5 here. I like the 12 to upset the 5.
I think UAB can listen. If Alabama can beat them, then UAB can too. So
Screw it.
UAB.
Screw it. I'm gonna go UAB.
Let's
Screw it.
go. The
Screw it.
hometown team in there. Illinois versus Chattanooga.
Illinois.
and plus, I'm salty that they beat us in the bowl game. So yeah, screw Houston.
There you go.
There you go. So, Illinois, we're picking Illinois. Now, this is interesting, but for different reasons. This Michigan team is 17-13. I feel like this is one of those teams that had no business in this tournament at all.
Facts.
They had no business in this tournament, while a team like Texas A&M is in the NIT right now.
Facts.
So, how do we feel? Colorado State, Michigan. Is Michigan reeling? Like, what are we doing here? Colorado State has played no top 25 teams.
This is hard to be ticking me off. Like a team like Michigan to actually win this game.
Yeah, they could. They could. I'm not saying they have no chance. I think they could win it, but
I'm
going to Colorado State on this one.
oh, Colorado State. Okay.
What you think, Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Colorado State as well, too. Man, listen, Michigan.
Howard's still not coaching, right? He's done for this season.
He should be. No, he should be
he'll
back.
be back.
Now.
He's back.
I think his suspension ended.
It was for the regular season.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Valencia says they said one of Michigan's main players is hurt, so that might factor in.
Who you got, Mike?
They got into that whole brawl thing, malice at the palace type deal. I got Colorado State. Just
put them up there. That's fine. Tennessee.
Yeah, let's go Tennessee. Represent the SEC. They're SEC Tourney champs. Ohio State, Loyola, Chicago.
We played them earlier this year, right?
It's another tough draw.
Loyola,
there
Chicago. Did we play them?
Yeah, we did. I think.
Wow.
I haven't watched Ohio State play. Maybe like at one half of basketball.
Didn't Ohio State lose in Nebraska a few weeks back? I don't believe in Ohio State.
Um,
I'm gonna go Loyola. Loyola.
Loyola. How do you feel like?
it's tough. What the heck? Let's pick an upset.
Ohio State beat Duke, Chris Stiff said.
When?
This season, apparently.
No, I mean I know this season, but when in the season did it happen?
That's a great question.
Early.
Let's find out real quick. Duke. The Duke is teams, conferences.
Oh, he said if you scroll down on that thing, you can see their key wins and losses.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me see. Let me go back here then. Boom. Notable results. Duke by 5.
5.
Good call.
It was a home game, I guess. At Purdue, they lost by 3. Beat Illinois at Illinois by 3. Lost to Iowa by 13.
Lost to Auburn by 9. Beat San Francisco by 5. Lost to Michigan State by 2. I don't know, man. Woo.
Yeah, this is a rough one.
I'll go with I'll roll Loyola.
See,
I'll roll Loyola on this one.
Loyola.
Boom. Villanova, Delaware.
Villanova.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that Delaware's got it.
Last
Kansas.
bracket. This is our bracket.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Midwest region. So Kansas goes San Diego State, Creighton.
Another tough one. That 8-9 matchup is always the toughest one to pick, in my opinion. The 8-9 and the 5, whatever it is, 10. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but those are always the tough ones.
They played. Did they play? Does this mean that they played Villanova 3 times? They won 1 and they lost 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Villanova, yeah.
Wow. They beat Villanova.
Beat UConn twice.
They must have played them in their tournament.
Mm-hmm. Lost to Seton Hall.
5-12. Thank you, Spicy.
Yeah, I think Creighton. I feel like Creighton.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go.
blasted by Colorado State. Good God.
Who did?
Creighton did. By
I'm
14.
gonna go.
San Diego State lost to
UConn.
USC by 15 and Michigan by 14.
I'm gonna go with Creighton.
Creighton.
San Diego State, they play good defense, but they're not known to.
Iowa, Richmond. Another 12 versus a 5.
My gut is saying Iowa on this one without even looking at anything.
Yeah, I want to go Iowa here.
Go Iowa.
All right, so we're gonna pick Iowa. Coming down the stretch here, Providence, South Dakota. 2 teams I know absolutely nothing about.
Well, people are picking that. That's the upset, right?
South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
They're scoring 86 points per game.
Undefeated in conference, 30-4 overall.
I see what you did there, Steven. I see what you did there. Richwood.
Man, let's see here. And then they lost to Alabama by 16 points.
That's never good.
No, it's not.
Mm.
I'm not picking it here. I'm going to go with Providence. You lost to Alabama by 16.
That's never good.
Providence?
I'm good with the Providence pick. Yeah, I know nothing about either of those teams. So
the Will Weightless
Tigers. I'm going Iowa State here.
Really? I don't know.
I mean, LSU is the more talented team of these two, but I just don't know. I mean, with a new coach, you don't really know what to expect from a team and like how they're going to respond to that whole situation. Man. I don't know. I'm going Iowa State too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you guys are both going Iowa State, then it don't matter what I say. I was on the verge of picking LSU. Wisconsin, Colgate.
Whiskey.
Yeah, I'll agree.
That's going to be an interesting game though. But I am picking Wisconsin.
So Auburn, Jacksonville State.
Don't skip over USC.
Oh, I'm
Miami.
sorry. USC Miami. This determines who we play. Take a look at the metrics here. Pretty even in points per game.
I mean, these are like the same team. Like the difference between these teams is like the style of play.
Mm-hmm. All right, so they
Sheesh.
beat UCLA.
They split games with Alabama lost to Alabama by 32.
Sheesh.
But they beat Duke.
What?
They beat North Carolina by 28.
I'm going USC, man.
What do you make of this matchup?
Yeah, that's one bipolar team right there.
Yeah, I'm going USC.
What you feel like, Caesar?
Lost to Arizona. I'll go USC here.
All right, so no suspense here.
Yeah.
Well, let's. This is a perfect time. Since we're talking about Auburn, let's do this. Let's do this real quick.
Yeah. Welcome to another Jazzy Challenge.
Does Auburn score over 160 in the next 2 games?
Two 80-point games.
No.
Well, depends on what they do against Jacksonville State.
I'm gonna go no.
I'm gonna go yes. I think they do it. I think they do it.
I think they do it too. I think they won't score 80 against USC, but I think they make up for it with what they do in the first round.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we're going yes. Ike is going no. Yeah. Somebody's gonna win.
I think we have to come to a consensus.
We got to come to a consensus.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think they do it. I think they do it.
Cool.
That's the homer in me.
I don't know. I'm feeling less homerish now.
The homer left your body.
Yeah. I'm gonna go no.
So the answer is no. There, overruled. We're doing this by committee as well too. I say yes. You guys both say no.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna go no.
It is.
I'm gonna go no.
I hope you guys are both wrong as hell.
Hey, listen,
I hope
I don't
so
care
too.
how much we score as long as we win. But if we average 80 against both of these two teams, we did some things.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get back to this bracket here so we can get through this. Auburn, we're going to work our way back up here. Auburn versus USC. I think maybe we can agree what that matchup looks like. This is what that matchup looks like on paper. Both teams playing pretty good defense. 1-4 versus top 25 versus 3-2. We are scoring more points per game. So I like us. Again, notable results. Beat Kentucky, lost to Tennessee by 5, lost to UConn 15. Arkansas W, LSU W, Arkansas L, beat Alabama twice, beat Murray State. I don't know. Nothing really impressive here happening for USC. So Auburn, Wisconsin, Iowa State.
Oof.
I got Wisconsin moving forward. They play a slow, grind you down brand of basketball, but I got them moving forward.
Yeah, I agree.
Providence or Iowa.
Wisconsin actually scares me in the Sweet 16, but go ahead.
4 versus a 5. Providence or Iowa?
I may go Providence here.
I'm picking Iowa.
What say you, Ike?
I'm not mad at an Iowa pick on that one either. Yeah.
Me either.
Kansas make it through?
Yeah. I think Kansas can get to. I think that's probably where they stop, but yes.
Villanova, Loyola, Chicago. Any upsets here?
Villanova. I would still go Nova.
Tennessee, Colorado State.
Still going Tennessee.
I feel Tennessee. Would you? I feel Tennessee.
I'm gonna go Tennessee.
All right. Does the Cinderella continue?
Oh man,
I'm picking the Blazers. I like them through to the Sweet 16. I think they can do it.
my heart wants to go UAB, man. My heart wants to go UAB.
I'm going Illinois.
Oh, Ike, it's up to you, man. Heart of your head.
I ain't got no money on this. UAB, let's go.
There we go. You have. Arizona beat TCU. Did they any upsets here?
I don't see that happening.
Murray State, Kentucky. This is not a gimme. This is not a gimme.
By no means is this a
I don't know.
I mean, I think Kentucky wins the game. I don't want them to, but I think
Yeah.
they win.
Yeah, I love you, Murray State. Murray State,
Yeah.
we love and support you, but I just don't see them. I don't think they have an answer for Sheboy.
Yeah, that's the biggest
that's
problem.
the problem.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
the
they have an answer
problem.
for Sheboy. Texas, Purdue.
Whew.
They've been in the
Another
top
tough
5
one.
just about all year.
Yeah. I would go Purdue here.
Yeah, I like Purdue to advance.
I'm gonna go Purdue.
This is a tough one as well because Indiana is just a tough out, man.
I'm going Illinois. I mean, in Indiana.
Let me see this side by side on this one.
Points
Okay.
allowed, even.
Yeah.
I don't know.
PPI
Indiana's
rank.
played more teams. I mean, they're kind of even there.
Points per game.
They split their series with Purdue. They lost to Iowa twice. Split with Illinois.
I gotta go UCLA, man.
What say you, Mike?
I don't really like on this one. I think UCLA advances. It's going to be a close one. This will be a really good game.
Baylor, Marquette.
I like Baylor.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like Baylor too.
Yeah, let's rack it up for Baylor.
Yeah, Duke Davidson.
Ooh,
Duke is not bulletproof. Duke is not bulletproof.
Duke is vulnerable.
They're the better team here, though. I'm gonna pick Duke. I'm not mad at a Davidson pick, but I'm gonna pick Duke.
They are vulnerable. Did Davidson beat the bums, didn't they?
Yeah,
They did. They beat the bums.
a lot of people picking Davidson in the chat. I see you.
Now,
chat.
is that Duke hate, or you really think they
Right. Yeah,
it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
This is his swan song. This is his last tournament.
Yeah, they definitely losing.
It's not a good team to do that with.
But yeah, no, I still got Duke.
Caesar.
Bye bye, Coach K.
Oh,
Yeah, bye bye, Coach K.
That's down to me. So let's just go ahead and click that right there. Yeah.
Hey.
I like Coach. Bye, Coach K. Texas Tech and one of these bums. I'm going Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Any objections to Texas Tech here?
No.
Arkansas, UConn. This is going to be a great matchup. I got UConn.
I think UConn is going to win this game just because I think the brand of basketball they play is just like what Mississippi State played and just gave Arkansas fits just recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go UConn.
All right, Gonzaga, Memphis. I got Gonzaga making it through.
Yeah.
Sweet 16. All right, now working our way back down. This is where I have UConn. This is where I have Gonzaga going out.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that.
That's where I have Gonzaga going out. So bye Zags.
All right, listen, I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
Bye Zags. Goodbye, imposters. Goodbye. Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Baylor, UCLA.
Oh, UCLA.
Ooh,
You going UCLA?
I'm picking the Bruins too.
Yeah.
I think Baylor goes out here.
Okay.
Corey says Mike's bracket is gonna be busted. As hell. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Fact. It's good.
College basketball is so difficult to pick, man, because it's so difficult to watch all these teams play, man.
Yeah, it is. You got to pick. You have to pick upsets.
Yeah.
You know you have to pick upsets because they're going to happen. I'm going UCLA here.
Okay.
Yeah, so Purdue, Kentucky. Does Kentucky make it through to the round of 8?
I'm going.
Is Tata playing?
Well, he survived the first 2 games of this.
Is Tata going to be injured?
They're going to have to play it again if Tata gets hurt.
Man, I actually want to pick Purdue here, man.
I want to pick
my
Purdue
SEC
too.
bias is wants to say Kentucky.
I'm going Purdue, man. I'm going Purdue here.
Points per game allowed pretty even. Kentucky went 3-6 versus top 25 teams. Interesting.
Tata was hurt for 2 of those, I think, though.
And they're both about the same in terms of points per game. So if we look at this matchup here, notable results: Villanova, they won by 6. 2 out of 3 against Iowa. They beat Illinois twice. They lost to Wisconsin twice. Beat Ohio State. Beat North Carolina. Split with Michigan and Michigan State. Kentucky. They beat Kansas by 18. They lost to Tennessee twice this season. Wow. They beat Duke. They lost to Duke by 8. They lost to Auburn by 9. They split with LSU. I don't know, man. They lost to Arkansas. They beat Bama twice, which is like a trend. And North Carolina, they beat by 29.
God, they're really good, man. But
I'm going to go Purdue here. I think I like Purdue for the upset.
Yeah, I'm picking Purdue in the upset too.
Yikes. Goodbye. Arizona UAB. Is it over for UAB here?
Yeah, they're done.
They're done. Oh, man. Just for shits and giggles. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they're done, bro.
Okay.
They just listen. By this point, they've already been a story. They've already,
these matchups are getting good. Tennessee, Villanova. A lot of folks felt like Tennessee got the snub on not getting a 2 seed.
I think Tennessee gets Villanova is a good defensive team too, right?
I mean, look how even they are in terms of points allowed.
Yeah.
And then points scored. This is about as even a matchup as you get versus top 25.
Yeah, I actually think Tennessee makes this an ugly game and wins it. Scroll up a little bit. No, right there is what I'm power and decision tree. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee.
Arizona. They beat Arizona. They beat Kentucky twice. They lost to Villanova by 18.
Tennessee.
They've already played this season.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost by 18.
That's a different team, though.
I like Villanova.
Okay.
I think Tennessee goes out here. Caesar?
I'm gonna go Tennessee.
Ooh, okay. Balls advance. Kansas, Iowa.
Still got Kansas going on.
Yeah, I've got Kansas pretty deep.
I don't believe in Kansas, but yeah, we can go Iowa. That's fine.
Okay, so we said Kansas, Wisconsin, Auburn. Is there any doubt? This will be a really ugly game. This has a chance to be a really ugly game.
Yeah.
I don't like us in ugly games.
This game scares me.
This game scares the crap out of me.
We're gonna be in half coat.
Auburn versus Kansas. Who gets through?
Kansas is beatable.
I like AU. I do. I like this. I like this matchup better than I do Wisconsin.
I do. Like I feel like if we get past Wisconsin, then we can win our bracket.
If we get past Wisconsin, I'm feeling. I like our chances.
Tennessee, Arizona. We get a rematch with the Vols.
Yeah.
I didn't like Tennessee to beat Villanova, so I'm not picking them against Arizona.
Yeah, I think Arizona's going to win.
You think Arizona's going to what now?
I think Arizona's going to win that game.
I think so too.
All right, UCLA, Purdue.
Oh, I'm still liking UCLA.
Is it over for the Boilermakers here, Caesar?
Yes.
It is. UCLA advances.
This will be
UConn,
the
Texas Tech.
second final. Did they make the Final Four last year?
UCLA? They
Yeah.
did. The lowest seed to ever make the Final Four.
2 Final Fours in a row.
Mm-hmm. UConn, Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, I think.
Oh man, I really like UConn. God, these matchups are getting so even. Texas Tech lost to Gonzaga by 14. I'm going UConn.
How did they make it this far?
I'm going UConn, bro. That's all I needed to see.
That's hilarious.
What say you, Caesar? You're the tiebreaker here.
I'm gonna go Texas Tech.
No, come on, man.
Jazzy Joe said Purdue's mascot is a job. That is hilarious, bro.
Hilarious.
A
You guys
Boilermaker.
really got Texas Tech going through this Final Four. All right. So that being said, Arizona, Auburn, 1 versus 2. We got a 1 versus a 2. Are we picking with our hearts or our heads here?
We number 1 killers, ain't we? Took out Kansas.
We're in the Final Four here.
Man, it's so tough.
Damn,
It's
look
so
at that.
tough.
I mean, so
It's
there's only one number 1 made it.
Yeah, with only one. I don't think we got. We don't even have a 1 or a 2 on the other side either.
I
1, 2, 3, 4.
If I'm being honest, I'm picking Arizona here. Like I want to pick Auburn with my heart. And I'm picking Arizona.
Arizona goes through. So ends at the Final Four for second time in 3 years. Yikes.
I mean,
Caesar,
y'all could pick Auburn. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm picking Auburn.
Man, listen, I'm not fixing to pick against Auburn. All these bad teams I didn't won. I'm not finna get realistic now. Go ahead, put Auburn.
All right, Texas Tech, UCLA. Who's in this final?
Shoot.
I'm gonna go with UCLA.
Remember, Texas Tech. I mean, they played for the championship the year we got put out in the Final Four.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we are due a Texas Tech matchup in the finals to go ahead and get that dub, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I like our chances.
And we
versus the Texas Tech
should have had that opportunity, except
Right.
Not right, exactly. It's exactly what happened.
just saying.
Texas Tech versus Auburn in the championship.
If we draw Texas Tech and we get all the way there, yeah, I gotta pick Auburn
Okay, so this is the homeriest of homer brackets
for sure.
we've ever
For
put
sure.
together. That's ever been
Absolutely.
put together. What's the final score of this game?
It's gonna be a low scoring game. 60.
Ooh,
66 to 71.
Oh, I was gonna go 68 to like 63 Auburn.
I like Auburn in the 70s in this one. I think we got to get in the 70s to win it. I like 75-68 Auburn.
Okay.
So what's the consensus here on points?
Somewhere in the low 70s, high 60s for Texas Tech. 60, so 65, 60,
Susan
71.
got us dropping 100 ball on.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Susan
we could win
said
an
we're gonna
Acura
score
Integra.
100.
Right? So submit the pick. Guys, that's it. Our bracket challenge is in. They're probably going to demonetize this video for showing all this ESPN stuff. Too many logos on that. That's it. That's
so no drama this weekend for Auburn.
You know, I just
at least in the first game. At least in the first
not.
game.
Tomorrow, news flash, breaking news. I will be doing a Jacksonville State watch the film session at some point tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So stick with me.
We got a
folks,
prize
tomorrow.
pick session. We got a prize pick session coming as well too, right?
Not tomorrow, but it will be Friday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Gummy challenge. What's the over? It's 2. What's the over and under on gummies you popping?
Under.
under.
Going with the under.
I'm going with the under. Yeah.
You're going with the under.
Yeah. No worries, baby. No worries. We having fun. No stress. No stress. Gummy popping. Friday. These guys lock down defense. Don't let them do anything. Jacksonville State shoots under 30% on the game.
I'm gonna go for my mental health. I'm gonna go under 2.
That's funny. So like in my it was funny. I've got in my other bracket, the one I entered into our bracket challenge. If you missed it, you can go to the community part of our page. And if you look in there, the last post we made in the community was the link to the bracket challenge. We also put it out on Twitter and Instagram as well, too. So use code rapport to enter. Similar to the Bowl Pick'em challenge, the winner's going to get a merchandise bundle from the War Rapport. So go check that out. But yeah, we put that in the community there for you guys to enter. The group is the War Rapport. I think we've got how many people we have in this thing right now? We've got over 60 entries right now. So let's push this to 100 in the next. We got just about 90 entries into the Bowl Pick'em challenge, and I've got in my personal bracket like that I entered. I've got Purdue versus Auburn in the title game. I've got UConn going out versus Purdue in the Final Four, and Arizona Auburn on the other side. Still, so pretty close. We put UCLA in to that Final Four, and I've got UConn going pretty deep. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people going through here. So UCLA puts out Baylor, Kentucky loses to Purdue, Kansas goes out versus Auburn. Tennessee puts out Villanova, and then Villanova gets dispatched by Arizona.
Where do we go to access this bracket challenge again?
Go to the community tab of our page. So if you, and I can share this, right? If you go to the War Rapport, right? And it's this little handy dandy community tab right here. There's a link here with the information. You can click that and it will take you right to the bracket challenge, and you can just join up. Use code rapport. So
Prize Picks also has some interesting things going on with their bracket challenge. So if you want to be able to get in and do some every round picks, right? Like, so at every round you can pick winners. And so, yeah, check out prizepicks.com. If you haven't joined, code rapport, of course, and check those out as well. So it's going to be some interesting stuff, both the bracket challenge that we have going on and the Prize Picks one that we've got floating. So get in where you fit in, man. A lot of opportunities. The one thing about like these bracket challenges with ESPN, right? As soon as your bracket gets busted, you're pretty much done. But with Prize Picks, you get an opportunity to refresh it every round. So
nice. But what code what's the code again?
Rapport.
Rapport.
Okay.
Rapport.
Type it in.
Take us on out, Mike G.
Listen. So join that bracket challenge. We want you guys to participate. It's something that's a little fun for us to do as a community during the tournament. Hopefully Auburn is in it, and they have not busted all our brackets here for all of you who have Auburn going really deep into the tournament. Other than that, become a patron member. Hit the join button on our YouTube page. Become a part of our community. Help support our content. Help us grow. Also help the Lee County Humane Society raise money for a good cause. They're doing great work over there, saving puppies, helping puppies find homes, helping humans find puppies. So great work they're doing over there. Half of everything donated goes to them. I know donations have slowed down a little bit. I had to put half a tank of gas in my car the other day, and that was $50. So I get it. We make a lot of asks for you guys.
That's all.
$50 for half a tank.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So I get it. We make a lot of asks to you guys. So just if you have a few extra dollars lying around and you find it in your heart to donate to this, we really appreciate it. If you didn't win the raffle today, like Roy did, you can just buy something. Go to our merch store at thewarreport.com. Also, check us out on podcasts. We're on every single podcast platform out here doing work. Shout out to rogueshop.com. Go to rogueshop.com, order your herbal supplements there. Ask questions, guys. If you have questions about their products and what's legal or what's not, or what's good for you, what's not, those guys will be able to tell you. They've got a variety of products for a variety of things. Use code rapport there too. If you haven't seen the trend, it's code rapport on everything. So if they support the War Rapport, if you walk into Ace Hardware, slap the money on the counter, and just be like rapport, 10% off at the counter. Don't do that. But we appreciate Rogue Shop. They came on as a sponsor in January and just been fantastic to work with. Other than that, guys, you guys know Virginia Double Dribble tournament time. We cannot forget that. And then last but certainly not least, shout out to our title sponsor, auburnsports.com. That's our guy, JG Tate. Also an early believer in what we were doing, man. He hopped in here and just wanted to be a part of what we're doing. So we appreciate the Commodore for believing in us and supporting us and standing behind us. So
Indeed. And shout out to you guys. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us on a Wednesday night. Or if you're watching this on replay, either or, do us a favor, share this video. If you're on social media, use hashtag #GetYourWeight Before you get out of here, like this video. Please do that. It helps us out a ton with our engagement. And if you happen to be new, and I saw some new names out there, you were the black names out there. If you're new to our channel, subscribe. Please be sure to do that. We go live randomly when there's news that breaks. Maybe going live over the weekend covering these games. So especially if it's great news. So you definitely want to be alerted when we go live. So be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, we're on social media, guys. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at The War Rapport. We're TW Rapport on TikTok. Guys, I wish you a one gummy weekend in this tournament. That means it's a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend as always. War Eagle.
War Eagle.